Hello everyone, my name is Serafi and I'm happy to meet you all, and today we're playing Simorgh. Simorgh is a very fun little bird deck. It focuses around normal and tribute summoning, very similar to Fluwandereeze, but while Fluwandereeze will typically end up drawing a lot of cards and setting up a lot of control tools, Simorgh is more focused on milling and special summoning from the graveyard to potentially use as link material, as well as special summoning from the deck. So Simorgh is not banned from special summoning like Flu is, which means it's got some kind of different lines to it, but it does tend to end up being kind of the weaker version of the two, which is why there's not very much Simorgh very much of a Simorgh fan base. The deck is very similar to Fluwandereeze, except worse, to be honest. Regardless, I'll show you what you can do with it. For the hand traps, we were playing 2 copies of Max C, 2 copies of Ash, 1 Nibiru, 2 Called by the Graves, 1 Crossout Designator, and 1 Imperm. We have some other interesting tech options in here, so these aren't our only forms of interruption, but they are really useful. Now then, for the Raid Raptor package, we are playing 1 copy of Raider's Wing. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can attach 1 material from your Dark Xyz monster, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. Very useful discard target. Raid Raptor Strangleanius, which is if you control a dark monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except dark monsters. If you control an Xyz monster with the Dark Xyz monster as material, you can target 1 level 4 or lower Raid Raptor monster in your graveyard. Special summon it, but if its effects are negated. Strangleanius' effects don't typically come up, but they are useful. That's why we're playing Strangleanius over a different rank 4. So if you are in a situation where you basically just open Strangleanius and Raider's Wing, you can at least do something with it. Or Strangleanius and some more Bird of Perfection. Then rank up Magic Raid Force, target 1 face-up Xyz monster you control. Special summon from your extra deck 1 Raid Raptor that is 1 rank higher than that target by using that target as material. Excellent card. Allows us to go into our Brave Strix. Phantom Knights rank up Magic Force during the main phase. Banish 1 or more dark monsters from your graveyard. Target 1 Dark Xyz monster you control. Special summon from your extra deck 1 the Phantom Knights, Raid Raptor, or Xyz Dragon Xyz monster, whose rank equals the targeted monster you control, plus the number of monsters banished by using it as material. So this is how we summon our Satellite Cannon Falcon if we need to blow up the entire field. And then lastly, Rise rank up Magic Raid Raptor's Force. During the main phase or your opponent's battle phase, target 2 or more Raid Raptor Xyz monsters you control and or in your graveyard, including at least 1 monster on the field. If at least 2 remain face-up at resolution, special summon 1 Raid Raptor Xyz monster from your extra deck with a rank equal to their combined ranks, and if you do, attach the targeted monster to it as material. This is treated as an Xyz summon, transfer their materials to the summoned monster. So this will allow you to use a 5, a 4, and a 4 to go into your Raid Raptor Rising Rebellion Falcon. For the extra deck of Raid Raptors, we are playing 3 copies of Force Strix, 2 level 4s. Once per turn, you can attach 1 material from this card, add a level 4 Dark Wing Beast monster from your deck to your hand. Not once per turn, so you can make this 3 times and do it 3 times. Raid Raptor Brave Strix. You can attach 1 material from this card, set 1 Raid Raptor spell or trap from your deck. Or if this card has a Wing Beast as material, you can attach 1 material from this card to add 1 rank up magic spell from your deck to your hand. Both these effects are very good. Satellite Cannon Falcon. If this card is Xyz summoned using a Raid Raptor monster as material, you can destroy all spells and traps your opponent controls, and your opponent can activate cards or effects in response to this effect activation. As a quick effect, you can attach 1 material from this card, target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, and it loses 800 attack points for each Raid Raptor in your graveyard permanently. Decent-ish effect. There are a lot of stun decks, so it's good to be able to blow up all the spells and traps. And then lastly, Raid Raptor Rising Rebellion Falcon, 5 level 13 Winged Beasts, unaffected by other cards' effects. If this card is Xyz summoned, you can destroy as many cards your opponent controls as possible. And once per turn, you can attach 3 materials from this card, target a Raid Raptor Xyz monster in your graveyard. This card gains that monster's effects until the end phase. The last Raid Raptor monster is Raid Raptor Wise Strix. Requires 2 Dark Winged Beast monsters as material. If this card is link summoned, you can special summon 1 level 4 Dark Winged Beast monster from your deck in defense position, negate its effects. Also, it cannot be used as link material. And if your Raid Raptor Xyz monster's effect is activated, set 1 rank up magic spell from your deck, and if it is a quick play spell, it can be activated this turn. Very nice cards. Okay. So with that in mind, let's take a look at the Simorgh stuff. Bird of Beginning. This is a level 1. 0 attack, 1600 defense. When this card is normal summon, you can activate this effect. During your main phase this turn, you can normal summon one Simorgh monster in addition to your normal summoner set. You can only gain this effect once per turn. It is important to note that every Simorgh monster that has an effect that triggers on normal summon, except for Bird of Perfection, is a win effect. So they all miss timing, which is important because if you activate like Simorgh Bird of Beginning's effect, and then you chain your Simorgh Bird of Perfection's effect to it, that allows you to normal summon a monster from your hand. If you normal summon Bird of Bringing to the as the chain link 2, then Bird of Bringing cannot use its effect to search a card. It misses timing. So you always either resolve this as a chain link 1, or you normal summon Bird of Perfection with its own effect so that it doesn't miss timing. If this card is in your graveyard and your opponent controls no cards in their spell and trap zone, you can special summon this card in defense position, but banish it when it leaves the field. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except winged beasts. Every Simorgh level 4 or lower monster except for Bird of Perfection has this effect. So you definitely don't want your opponent to have any spells or traps, but you can, as long as you're going first, you can just bounce. You can potentially bounce their spells and traps with your repulsion if you're going second, but as long as you're going first, you can just you basically use all your monsters from the graveyard as link material one time after you've tributed them, which is really good. Simorgh Bird of Bringing. When this card is normal summon, you can add one Simorgh card from your deck to your hand. So that's a spell or trap or monster. If this card is in your graveyard, your opponent controls no cards in their spell and trap zone, you can special summon this card. Cool. Simorgh Bird of Calamity. When this card is normal summon, you can send one Simorgh card from your deck to the graveyard. And if this card is in your graveyard and your opponent controls no spells and traps, you can special summon this card. Cool. So definitely these cards are all very useful to you. You want as much tribute fodder as possible. Simorgh Bird of Protection. When this card is normal summon, you can target one card in your opponent's spell and trap zone and return it to the hand. Only their spell and trap zone. It does not work on field spells. Kind of an annoying effect, not very good. And then it special summons itself with the graveyard. This card is important because it's level 4, which means you can use it just as seize material. Alright, Simorgh Bird of Perfection. While this card is face up on the field, it's also wind. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. During your main phase, if you normal or special summon a winged beast monster, you can reveal this card in your hand, and immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon any Simorgh monster from your hand. If this card is normal summon, you can send one Simorgh monster from your deck to the graveyard to add one Simorgh spell or trap from your deck to your hand, which is really, really good. Really good effect. So Simorgh Bird of Perfection, one of the best cards in the deck. Simorgh Bird of Ancestry. This is a one of. You use this when you go second, basically. Level 8. You can tribute summon wind monsters for 1 less tribute, and if you tribute summon this card by tributing only wind monsters, target up to 2 cards your opponent controls and return them to the hand. Yeah, pretty useful effect. You definitely want tribute summons for your Simorgh of Darkness. This is one of them. It's decent. Simorgh Lord of the Storm. Your opponent cannot target this tribute summon card with spells or trap cards or effects, so it's basically just untargetable. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. When a spell, trap, card, or effect is activated, as a quick effect, you can tribute one winged beast monster, then target one card your opponent controls and shuffle it into the deck. When a wind beast monster you control is destroyed by battle while this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. Both these effects are pretty decent. Then Simorgh of Darkness. This card's insane. While this card is on the field, it's also wind attribute. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If you tribute summon a dark or wind monster, you can special summon this card from your graveyard or your hand. And when a spell, trap card, or effect is activated as a quick effect, you can tribute one wind beast monster, negate the activation. If you do, destroy the card. So it's a spell and trap negate that can also summon itself for free if you tribute summon something else. Really, really cool card. Simorgh Onslaught. This card is insane. Discard one winged beast monster, add 2 Simorgh monsters with different attributes from your deck to your hand. So 1 dark and 1 wind. You can banish this card from your graveyard, reveal 1 winged beast monster in your hand. If you do, reduce the levels of monsters within your hand with that name by 1 for the rest of the turn, even after they are summoned. It's a good card. Simorgh Repulsion. Discard 1 winged beast monster, return all cards in your opponent's spell and trap zones to the hand. So that enables the effects of all of your special summons from graveyard. You can banish this card from your graveyard, reveal 1 winged beast monster in your hand. If you do, reduce the levels of the monster in your hand with that name by 1 for the rest of the turn, even after they're summoned. So you do have to use both these effects. Well, you have to use both these effects to get your Lord of the Storm and your Bird of Ancestry down to a level where you could only tribute once for them. There is a level 7 Simorgh that you could tribute only once for after using one of these effects, but we don't run it. Elbor is the Sacred Land of Simorgh. This is the field spell. All Wind Wing Beast monsters on the field gain 300 attack and defense points. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. You can reveal one level 5 or higher Wind Wing Beast monster in your hand. This turn, you can normal summon Winged Beast monsters for one less tribute, even if this card leaves the field. And if you control a Wind Wing Beast monster, you can immediately, as effect resolves, normal summon one Winged Beast monster. So, Elbor's allows for you to get extra summons for your Simorgh tributes. Again, very similar to Floowandereeze, but it requires you to actually, like, search this card as opposed to Floowandereeze, which just has the effect built into the monster's normal summon. So that's why people don't really like this deck all that much. It's a very good card, though. We only play one because we just search it. And then lastly, Heartbeat's Feather Storm. If you control a Wind Wing Beast monster until the end of the turn, negate any monster effects your opponent activates. All of them. In the hand, in the graveyard, any monster effect that gets activated by your opponent is negated on resolution after you've activated Heartbeat's Feather Storm. If you control a Heartbeat monster, you can activate this card from your hand, and we do have a Heartbeat link too. If this card in its summoner spell and trap zone is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can draw Heartbeat's Feather Duster, which is actually pretty funny. Okay, extra deck that's not Raid Raptors, we have Lyrilusk Ensemble Robin, which we can make with Bird of Bringing having its level reduced by 1 with Simorgh Onslaught and Bird of Beginning. If your opponent special summons a monster, you can detach one material from this card, target one of those special summon monsters, and return it to the hand. That is not once per turn. Very funny. Heartbeat Conductor, which is just a Link 2 that requires 2 wind monsters. It's a winged beast and it has Heartbeat in the name. Basically, you do that so that you can put the monsters that you normal summon into the graveyard, so then you can then revive them with their own effects, so you can link your Heartbeat Conductor into your Link 3. Simorgh Bird of Sovereignty requires at least 2 monsters, including a Winged Beast monster. Cannot be used as link material. Your opponent cannot target this card or a Winged Beast it points to with card effects. If this card will be destroyed by battle, you can destroy one other Simorgh card you control instead. And during the end phase, you can special summon one Winged Beast monster from your hand or deck with a level equal to or lower than the total number of unused spells and trap zones on the field, which you use to special summon your Mist Valley Apex Avian, which has once per chain. When a card or effect is activated, you can target one Mist Valley card you control, return the target to the hand. If you do, negate activation. If you do that, destroy it. This card is level 7, which means that you can use Simorgh Onslaught, reveal it, and reduce Apex Avian's level to 6 if it's in your hand. Then you can actually use Elbor's effect from your to reduce the number of tributes by 1, and then normal summon it. You can actually normal summon Apex Avian without even tributing. If you have Elbor's and Onslaught or Repulsion in your graveyard, which is really funny. So just keep that in mind. Not that you will draw Apex Avian very often, but when it is in your hand, it's not much of a brick, thanks to those cards. Heralds of Vigor, the Desperate Doom Eagle, which is a Link 3 that requires at least 2 wind monsters, gains 2400 attack while your opponent has no monsters in their graveyard, and once per turn as a quick effect, you can target one monster in your opponent's graveyard and shuffle it into the deck. Cool. A Link 3 that has 4800 attack points is pretty scary. Alright, great. That is the deck. Let's take a look at the replay. So we are going first against Malice. We have Bird of Beginning and Bird of Perfection in our hand, which is really nice. We'll normal summon the Bird of Perfection and use its effect. Pitch the Bird of Protection. Special summon itself back. Exceeds. We also drew the Simorgh Onslaught, by the way. Exceeds into 4 Strix. 4 Strix, detach 1. Draw the Raider's Wing. Simorgh Onslaught, pitch Raider's Wing, add the Bird of Perfection, and the Lord of the Storm from graveyard deck to hand. Detach 1. Special summon back the Raider's Wing. That triggers Simorgh Bird of Perfection so that we can normal summon Bird of Beginning. Bird of Beginning gives us an additional normal summon, so we normal summon Bird of Perfection. Link these two into Wise Strix. Wise Strix special summon the Strangleance from the deck, exceeds those two into another 4 Strix. And with 4 Strix, detach 1. Draw the Bird of Perfection. that triggers the effect of Wise Strix to set us a Raid Raptor spell card, which we can use to rank up our Force Strix into our Brave Strix. Brave Strix effect, detach 1. Set the Rise effect, Rise from our deck. Then we're going to link 3 into the Simorgh Bird of Sovereignty. Now at this point, I made a mistake. So I set 3 more cards from my hand, which means that I only have 1 spell and trap zone open left. And that means that I can only special summon a level 6 or lower monster from my deck, because Sovereignty says you can special summon a winged beast from your hand or deck with a level equal or lower than the total number of unused spell and trap zones on the field. So because I set so many spells and traps, I can't actually summon my Apex Avian. I should have kept one of these Harpy's Featherstorms in the hand. Regardless, we special summon just Bird of Calamity so that we have something in the graveyard. Pass to our opponent. They activate Harpy's Feather Duster, and we're going to activate Harpy's Featherstorm in response. As well as we're just going to rank up our Raid Raptor. We don't get to blow up the field, but we have a 5300 attack point monster that is unaffected by card effects. The opponent is going to normal summon a Firewall Guardian and special summon EMP Meow Mime in order to link summon SP Little Knight. And then they set 2, beat over, and pass. We special summon Apex Avian from our deck. It's our turn. The opponent cannot use SP Little Knight because they can't target any of my cards. We're going to normal summon Calamity in a zone that that Simorgh doesn't point to, so that we can bait SP Little Knight's effect to banish a card that doesn't matter, which the opponent takes the bait for that. We draw Elborz, put Simorgh Bird of Darkness in our graveyard. Activate Elborz so that we could then summon Lord of the Storm and revive Simorgh of Darkness for the spell and trap negate, and our opponent surrenders. Now you might be wondering, well, why didn't they summon any Malice cards? Well, because we played Harpy's Featherstorm at the beginning of the turn, so none of their monster effects were going to activate. If they had activated Malice in Wonderland, then and they banished their, for example, their Malice White Rabbit from their deck, then Malice White Rabbit's effect to special summon itself from the banished zone would have been negated. So they were just out of luck. That's how Harpy's Featherstorm works. It's insane. My name is Serafi, and I was thrilled to have all of you with me.